Good day. I want to show you guys a super fast way of doing subtraction. This is really fast way of doing it. It comes from Vedic maths. First thing we need to know is complements. What are complements? Complements are just the number that adds up to 10. So for example, the complement of the number 1 is 9, because 1 plus 9 equals 10. The complement of 2 is 8. The complement of 3 is 7. The complement of 4 is 6. 5 is 5, so on. If I were to ask you what's the complement of 7, you could say that's 3. If you guys want to learn more about complements, look at my all from 9, last from 10 video. But for right now, all we need to know is the complements just 1 through 10. Here they are here. Okay, and the second thing we need to know is what does it mean if there's a dot above a number? So, for example, this little dot here above the number 2, that just means add 1. So if you see the dot above 2, it just equals 3. If you see a 4 with a dot above it, it just equals 5. So for example, if I had the number 1 and it had a dot over it, that would just equal 2. So if anytime you guys see a dot above a number, it just means 1 more. Okay, so how are we going to use the complements and this little dot idea to do super fast subtraction? Well, normally how they teach you in school to do subtraction, for example, this number here is, cross out the 2, add a 1, subtract 1, add a 1. And I'm going to tell you guys that this way it's not really all that. Be honest with you, it's garbage. When you cross it out, like say, for example, I cross out the 2. Let's say I get the answer wrong. If I go back to try and figure out what it is, well, I don't know what that 2 is. That could be an 8. It looks kind of like an 8. So I don't think that method that they teach us in school, in primary school out here in the West, is very good. So I'm going to show you the Vedic method. Okay, it kind of works like this. If I'm going to take, this first one here, 1 minus 4. Well, I can't do 1 minus 4 without borrowing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the complement of 4 and then add it to the 1. So we look over here, what's the complement of 4? The complement of 4 is 6. So I'm just going to take the complement, which is 6, and add it to 1. So 6 plus 1 equals 7. Okay, now since I use this complement method, what it means is I need to add that little dot over the next one over here. So now I have 6 with a dot above it. We know that means that number equals 7. So 2 minus 7 can't do that. So what I'm going to do is take the complement of 7. The complement of 7 is 3. And then I'm just going to add it to the 2. I'm just going to take the complement of 7 and add it to the 2. So 3 plus 2 gives us 5. And then since I had to use this method, I'm going to bring that dot over. Okay, now we see 3 with a dot above it. That means it equals 4. So I'm just going to subtract 4 from 9. 9 minus 4, that's 5. Okay, and I don't need to bring that dot over here because I wasn't using this complement method to add to the top number. So we didn't add anything. We just did normal subtraction here. Okay, now we just do 6 minus 1, that's 5. 8 minus 6, that's 2. And then see, we run into this problem again. Okay, 4 minus 5 can't do that, so we're going to take the complement of 5, which is 5. You can see complement of 5 is 5. And we're just going to add that to the 4. So we're just going to take the complement of this number, because it's bigger, we're going to add it to the 4. So 5 plus 4, that equals 9. Since we use that technique, we draw a little dot. Okay, now we see 8 with a dot over it, that equals 9. So the complement of 9 is 1. Add that to 6. 1 plus 6, that equals 7. Bring a dot over. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So here's our answer. Okay, I'll show you guys this again with a different number. Okay, let's start. 3 minus 5 can't do that, so we're going to take the complement of 5 and add it to 3. Complement of 5, we can see is 5. So 5 and 3, that makes 8. Now we're going to bring a little dot over because we just used the complement method. So now we have 1 minus 2. Well, we can't do that. So the complement of 2 That's going to be 8. Complement of 2 is 8. And we're going to add that to the one above it. So 8 plus 1, that equals 9. Bring the dot over. We can see 2 dot is 3. Complement of 3 is 7. 7, 1, that equals 8. Bring the dot over. Complement of 7 is 3. Add that to 2. That gives us a 5. Bring the dot over. 5 minus 5, that's 0. 8 minus 9 can't do it. So we're going to take the complement of 9, which is 1, add it to the 8. Bring the dot over. Complement of 4 is 6. Add that to 2. Get 8. Bring the dot over. 9 minus 1 is 8. So you guys see how this works really fast. I'm going to give you a couple more examples. Hopefully you'll catch on to this. This is a really, really fast way of doing subtraction. I'll show you. You could speed up your subtraction significantly. Okay, here we go. Let's start from the right. The complement of 8 is 2. Add it to 1, gives us 3. Bring over the dot. 9 minus 9, that's 0. And we don't need to bring over the dot because we did not use the complement. So complement of 8 is 2. Add that to 7, gives us 9. Bring over this dot. Okay, the complement of 8 is 2. Add that to 6. That'll give us 8. Bring the dot over. Complement of 5 is 5. Add that to 4. That gives us a 9. Bring this over. Complement of 7 is 3. Add that to 5. Gives us 8. Bring it over. 4 minus 4 is 0. So here's our answer. So I hope you guys could use this. It's a really fast way of doing subtraction. This is just one method. I have a couple more. I'll show you guys different methods of doing subtraction. This one here is my favorite. Using the complement method and the Vedic formula, buy one more than the one before. Go ahead and give this a try and see if you could follow along with what I'm doing. So just once more, just to reiterate, what we do is we start over here at the right and we say, oh, 1 can't subtract 8, so we're going to take the complement of 8, which is 2, and then we're just going to add that to the 1. So 2 and 1 gives us 3. And then we have to bring that dot over because we use this complement method. We use a complement, which in other words, the number on the bottom was bigger than the number on the top. So we use this complement method, and then we bring over this dot. So then 8 with a dot above it, that means it's 1 more. So it's going to be 9 minus 9, that equals 0. We don't have to bring the dot over here because we didn't use the complement because the number on bottom is not bigger than the number on top. So here we go, the complement of 8, that's going to be 2. We just add that to 7. 2 plus 7 gives us 9. Bring over the dot. Okay, now we have now this basically a 7 with a dot means it's 8. So complement of 8 is 2. Add that to 6, that gives us 8. Bring over the dot. Okay, now this number 4 with a dot is 5. So the complement of 5 is 5. Add that to 4, gives us 9. Bring over the dot. Complement of 7 is 3. Add that to 5. That'll give us 8. Bring over the dot. 4 minus 4 is 0.